Welcome back to the grand climax of the Chess.com Isle of Man International. We have a Blitz playoff between Arkadij Naiditsch there with the black pieces and Wojtaszek with white.
And we shall head into the game already because they have started the Blitz game. It's 5 minutes plus 2-second increment. They play one Blitz game each, and in case of a tie, Armageddon.
There we go. So they do get 2 seconds increment per move, so you can see that Radoslav's time is actually above 5 minutes. So a fairly sedate start to the game.
We see in the beautiful green dress the wife of Radek supporting, of course, her husband. She has scored Grandmaster tournament. She takes the first prize for the ladies, and it might be a double win in case Wojtaszek also manages to get the title.
So, we've got heart rates, fantastic. Wow, Naiditsch under 70, I'm amazed. And Radoslav up to 94. It's all those cigarettes he smokes there. They must kind of calm him down somehow.
I would have expected it the other way around.
I would have thought so as well, but there you go. Radoslav has exchanged on e5. A crowd gathering. Nobody quite knew when this playoff was going to take place, so word is just getting round.
D takes c5, just played and queen c2 quickly.
A fairly sedate start with a fianchetto variation of the King's Indian, but exchanging on e5 is, well, a fairly tame way to play the position. c6, of course, covering d5 and perhaps preparing the queen to come out. c7.
Yeah, normal way to continue is to bring the rooks to the d file.
So is c5 going to happen now for white? c5 claiming a few of those squares. c5 and maybe even knight a4. Let's see what Radek has in mind. 4-20 against 4-9. So early days in this first Blitz game. 2 Blitz games will be played.
What do you think the players did between the end of the round and the start of the playoff? Do you think they checked any openings or simply decided to relax?
I'm sure they were just relaxing back in their hotel rooms, just chilling out. I mean, the prize money is split, which already, but there is...
That's true. c5 has just been played, as you pointed out.
I think there's a bit of extra dosh, something like 500 quid they're playing for. Well, 500 quid for kind of 20 minutes work, it's not shabby. It's okay.
But it's not so much in comparison to the £75,000 that the two will split for winning the tournament. Knight g4, bishop g5. The queen will move to c7 most likely, or
well,
f6.
F6 is interesting. Then is there a c pawn kind of dropping? F6. Well, okay, let's see.
Yeah, that's a very concrete line after f6. The bishop will have to come back, and in case of bishop d2, knight takes c5. What's going on there?
I think he's going to do it. Okay, his king position kind of is blown up a bit, but he's gone for it. He's gone for it. Now, can he play h after f6?
h3.
Yeah, h3 takes on g5, takes on g4.
And if knight h6, bishop e3.
Exactly. So h3 will at least kind of leave black's king side rather damaged. I suspect that's what he's going for. Let's have a look.
That could be the critical move, since bishop d2 simply drops the pawn, unless there's some tactical motive. Oh, he goes for it, so there shall be something after knight takes c5. No, Arkadij doesn't believe it. Rook a d1. Some tactics because of the discovered attack, but now simply the queen can move away from the d file.
Yeah, let's protect the knight on c5. So
okay, there are some tricks. If queen c7, queen e7 he
yeah,
plays.
That's solid.
If he had moved the queen to the c file after bishop e3, there are tricks with knight d5 and knight b5 in case the bishop moves. Knight moves. Sorry.
Does he want here queen c1 to leave that knight on g4 in a slightly awkward position? But then
threatening to trap the knight.
d3. Oh, he's just gone h3. Okay, that was nonsense.
Chasing the knight back to h6 and now bishop to e3.
Well, it looks like a clear extra pawn to me. But of course it's Blitz, anything can happen. And, well, somehow I blinked and both players lost a minute. 3 minutes for Wojtaszek, just under 3 minutes for Naiditsch.
After bishop e3, bishop f8 played by Arkadij Naiditsch.
I don't see enormous difficulties here for black. Seems absolutely fine. So, can Arkadij realize this extra pawn?
There's nothing concrete at the moment. He certainly will aim to do so, developing his pieces with bishop e6, rook coming to the d file. The knight can jump back to f7. What can Radek show for the loss of the pawn?
I was kind of thinking, dreaming about knight d2 to c4 to b6, but the thing is that after bishop e6, it just kind of stamps that one, stamps the possibility down.
I feel like they're playing very slow for a blitz game, but it's normal. 9 rounds of classical chess. They come from the European Club Cup, they come from the Chess Olympiad. A trade on a4 after knight a4, knight takes, queen takes.
It's funny, I don't think of them, of either player, as being noted blitz players, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I believe that they would play normally faster than what we are seeing, if they weren't this tired.
Well, Arkadij looks in control with that beautiful bishop on e6. a3, well, just now queen b3 should be fine. Queen c4 also looks fine. Still a long way to go. 2 minutes remaining for Wojtaszek. Naiditsch, just over 2 minutes.
Of course, Radek keeps the queens on the board since he's a pawn down. He has to try to find some kind of a counterplay. It doesn't seem to exist in the position, but it's a blitz game, anything can happen. Back with the heart rates, 131 for Naiditsch. Now that I believe more than how he started.
Yeah, I wonder if those might have been related to another game. This one looks more real. So this is the first blitz game we've had with the heart rate, and yeah.
I'd like to encourage our chat and maybe even the live audience to guess what will be the highest heart rate that we witness.
I think that's the highest we've had so far.
I think it can go higher than that.
I think it will. Not even Hikaru went that far.
Neither Abhijit, Superman. The position is currently bishop f1, b5, and queen c2 played by Radek.
Well, I mean, still Arkadij in control here.
Yeah, in the driver's seat completely. So he won a pawn after the opening. And if he wins this game with black, has then the white pieces in the next blitz game, it doesn't seem to be such a difficult task to win the match.
c5, but I'm slightly surprised about c5 actually, because it leaves those pawns slightly loosened on the queen side. I wonder if this is Radek's chance. Yes, knight b1 to c3 played. Will catch up, and suddenly that knight finds a square.
Some very quick moves. The queen going back to c8,
Ooh,
b8.
h3 has gone. h3 has been taken on the king side. I think in his haste he's overlooked that.
That's 2 pawns up for Naiditsch. Knight takes f6 is obviously a threat here, but it doesn't seem to be difficult to prevent it.
Bishop g7 parries. I don't see a difficulty there. Of course, the knight is nice. King g7 played. Fine. The bishop remains on the f8, a3 diagonal. So it's 2 pawns. Well, in spite of that knight on d5, this must simply be very, very good for black.
150 as a heart rate for Wojtaszek. Can it go higher? Will we need to call the ambulance?
I think that's when he dropped h3, basically. But it's only if he drops a piece, if he drops more than a piece, yeah, paramedics, hopefully not too far away.
What is the maximum heart rate that's still possible? I'm starting to get worried. 1 minute left, 2 pawns down. This is looking very bad for the Polish Grandmaster.
Yeah, but at least he's got that knight in on d5. Queen e2 played.
Yeah, the only hope in his position, basically, this knight on d5. Trade on f1.
And Naiditsch approaching the minute mark.
And raising his heart rate close to 140.
Now, is Wojtaszek going to roll the dice and flip the f-pawn up the board? It's not his style, but you never know. Yes, king g2, that's more of a Wojtaszek move.
Possibly coming to the h file.
But I have a funny feeling that f-pawn might be seen any moment now. h5 played.
Trade on e3 and indeed f4 is on the board. He has to go for some kind of a mess. It's 2 pawns down, so he has to create.
Well, it makes sense when the knight's on d5 because f6 is a rather sensitive spot in black's position. So, here we go.
In fact, this position is not that simple because of this monster on d5 and black's not so active pieces.
And look at the clock. They're into the final minute. Half a minute left for Naiditsch.
Anything can happen.
Oh, this is just completely wide open now. Queen g4 in the zone.
143 heart rate. 149 for Radek. Once again, peaking at 152.
He's taken on e5. He's getting through to f6. Oh, knight f6. What's going on? There's a fork. Has he just overlooked it? Oh, he's shaking his head. He doesn't like it. Rook takes. And there we go. Wojtaszek is back in business now.
It's only 1 pawn up for black. No time on the clock.
The 7th rank is exposed. Can he slam in rook d7?
160.
Rook d7. Rook d7. He just wants to grab material.
What has he done? Knight d7, winning an exchange. But wait, there was.
He's played rook takes d5. It's a check.
c3 check.
And now king h6. Yes.
But the rook.
He's.
What's
it's all happening. I'm afraid the live board has just completely frozen. Clock times. Arkadij is down to 7 seconds.
It's a rook up for Radek. But he's got knight h3, knight f3, rook g3. Whose move is it?
Queen d7 has Queen d6 has come. Knight h3. This is terrible. Has he got the time? 2 second increment, but the rook has gone. And Naiditsch he might be okay. Queen f8. The king's got to stagger up the board. Oh, incredible.
We're going to be.
Rook d4 wins the game! Oh, incredible! A stunner! And Wojtaszek has 17 seconds left. So he's got an extra queen and he's now flying around the board. The queen, can he take on g4? No, cool, calm and collected. King g2, very nice. He's got queen f3 check. The rook is gone. That's it. And he's retired.
What a game.
Fantastic. Wojtaszek hit 167 on the heart rate.
170, I think, was the peak. But he started with 2 pawns down. Naiditsch having everything under control. And then suddenly the position blew up. After f4, he blundered knight f6. And then he blundered his rook. Wojtaszek blundered back the rook. And then Naiditsch blundered his queen. Basically, a normal blitz game.